Published under the pseudonym Richard Bachman in 1978, The Long Walk is perhaps best known not for its prose or profundity, but for being part of a bizarre marketing strategy born out of 1970s publishing superstition, namely, that readers would flee in horror from an author who published more than once a year, assuming quantity must dilute quality. Ironically, this novel may have proven them right. The premise, at least, is fantastic. In a dystopian America where a debased culture has metastasized into state-sanctioned sadism, 100 teenage boys volunteer to participate in an endless walk. The rules are brutal in their simplicity. Keep moving at 4 miles per hour. No stopping, no help, no excuses. 3 warnings, and you're ticketed, which is this universe's euphemism for publicly executed on the spot. The last boy left gets the prize, whatever he wants, forever. And yet, despite this intriguing setup, The Long Walk is often a slog. A death march not just for its characters, but for the reader as well. For nearly 400 pages, we traipse alongside our protagonist, 16-year-old Ray Garrity, as he and the other boys walk, and talk, and walk some more. Occasionally, someone stumbles, slows, or succumbs to the psychological horror of walking with no end in sight, and is summarily executed by ominously ever-present soldiers. King, or Bachman if we're playing along, is honest about the mental state of adolescent males, even daring to portray the hormonal confusion and power struggles that churn within a group of boys facing likely death. In an era where readers simultaneously champion sexual liberation and clutch their pearls at its implications, this may alienate the modern audience. But it's one of the few elements of the novel that feels genuinely transgressive rather than merely dated. The rest, sadly, is less daring. Characters are referred to by last name, often interchangeably, and despite King's efforts to individualize them through banter or trauma, they blur into a single sweating, shuffling mass. Temporary alliances form and break, rivalries simmer, and boys speculate on the prize and the meaning of endurance, but not much of it resonates. And what of the prose? King's disdain for adverbs is well documented, but under the Bachman mask, he seems to indulge with abandon. The novel is easily 100 pages longer than it needs to be, and the pacing is glacial. It's ironic that a book about relentless forward motion so often feels static. By the final chapters, I found myself clinging to the hope of a twist, a revelation, something that would justify the trek. But no, the ending isn't much more than an intentionally vague finale. The reader is left not so much shocked as underwhelmed. This was a Kindle Unlimited freebie for me, and if the page count had been reduced by 100 pages, it would have served as an acceptable drainage of my time. I had no idea The Long Walk was being adapted to film until I went searching for a backdrop for this video. This makes sense. It wouldn't seem to be too expensive to film, and more often than not, there's commercial value in King's name. The fun part will be watching Hollywood nervously snip out anything that might bruise a social media mob's sensitive feelings. The Long Walk is a clever idea, stretched to the point of exhaustion. It's not without merit, but those hoping for narrative reward commensurate with the setup will be disappointed. Stephen King may be a master of horror, but in this early outing, Richard Bachman proves that even a great concept can wear out its souls.